Scanning densitometer. Scanning densitometer. So, in the scanning densitometer, we measure the density. We measure the density of the spot which is present over there on the plate. Okay, that is TLC plate. So, how it works and by which angle we are measuring, what light wavelength we need to use. Okay, so and how it works, scanning densitometer. These things we are going to see here. Now, densitometer is a quantitative measurement of optical density, okay, in the light sensitive material. The material should be light sensitive, such as a photographic paper or photographic film. Okay, these are the light sensitive materials. Optical density can be expressed absolutely as the number of dark spots, okay, for the unit area, number of dark spots per the unit area. The corresponding measuring device is called a densitometer. Okay, so number of dark spot per unit area or for unit area are determined by the instrument called densitometer. Okay, and as we know that the absorbance is a negative log of 1 by T. So T is a transmittance. Okay, T is a transmittance. So the reflection, see here, what is this? Is called absorbance, negative log of 1 by T. Okay, so log of, you can say log of 1 by T, not negative log of 1 by T. It's a log of 1 by T absorbance, and here that is density. That is density over here. So that absorbance we are considering as a density. So that densitometer has a light source having a stable output. Okay, so the light is focused from the source in the form of light spot. The use detector to monitor reflected light. Filters are used and the detector to monitor the reflect light. Okay, no problem. The sample is usually illuminated from the above. Illuminated from the above. म्हणजे अशी आपली ही प्लेट जर असेल तर हा समोरून लाईट न लावता कुठून लावतोय आपण 90 डिग्रीने लावतो आहे वरच्या साईडने सपोज. ओके, 90 डिग्रीने आपण त्या ठिकाणी लाईट लावतो आहे आणि तो व्ह्यू कुठल्या अँगलने करतोय आपण 45 डिग्रीने करतोय. वी आर observing that with the 45 degree. This viewing condition may be reverse. Means you can observe with the 90 degree and you can focus the light with 45 degree. Okay, depends upon the requirement. Okay, to get the desired result. So this viewing condition eliminates the gross reflections and only diffuse reflections are seen by detector. So in most of the instrument, the plate surface can be examined employing either reflected light, transmitted light, or fluorescent light. What we are observing, either reflected light or the transmitted light or the fluorescent light. Okay, the normal procedure is to measure the light scattered, reflected, or generated by fluorescence from the spot and compare it electronically with the light from a part of the plate where no sample has passed. Okay, so single beam and double beam instrument we can use for this purpose. Generally light having wavelength 200 to 700 nanometer is used. Okay, म्हणजे काय करतो थोडक्यात जिथे स्पॉट आहे त्या लाईटची इंटेन्सिटी ज्या ठिकाणी स्पॉट नाहीये, जिथे स्पॉट नाहीये त्याच्याशी कंपेअर करतो आपण. ओके, आणि ती कंपॅरेटिव्हली त्या ठिकाणी आपण काय करतो, ती मेजर करतो. ओके, कारण प्लेट वरती स्पॉट रन झाले, सॅम्पल मधून कंपोनंट सेपरेट झाले, त्यात फार तर 2 कंपोनंट असतील किंवा 3 असतील, त्या ठिकाणी 3 स्पॉट तुम्हाला ऑब्झर्व कराल तुम्ही, बरोबर ना. पण बाकी प्लेट जी आहे त्याच्यावर स्पॉट नसणार आहे. सो वी आर कंपेअरिंग द रिजन हॅव्हिंग अ स्पॉट on the plate and the region which is having no spot on the plate. So how we are doing the fluorescence measurement? So many organic compound produces a fluorescence light. Okay, the wavelength used is 254 nanometer. When irradiated, the position occupied by the spot on the plate becomes visible. राईट. तर तो फ्लुरोसन्स म्हणजे थोडक्यात काय, जे आपल्याला रस्त्याने जाताना मी नेहमी सांगत असतो त्याला तुम्ही काय म्हणतात, चमकता बघा. रात्री जर प्रवासाला चाललो ना, आपल्याला टर्न कुठे आहे वगैरे वगैरे, त्याला रेडियम वगैरे असं काहीतरी म्हणतात मुलं. म्हणजे आपल्या बोली भाषेमध्ये असं काहीतरी म्हणतात, जे की रिफ्लेक्ट होतं लाईट अंधारामध्ये, त्याच्यावर लाईट चमकली की रिफ्लेक्ट होतं. ओके, त्याला फ्लुरोसन्स म्हणतात. ठीक आहे ना. So the position can be photographed. The intensity of fluorescence radiation is measured. The measurement is usually done with the photocell. We are using what? We are using photocell to measure the intensity of light. So single and double beam instrument we can use for this purpose. So component which can produce the fluorescence, okay, they can be easily analyzed. But the compound which are not producing the fluorescence, their derivatives are prepared and then they are studied by the fluorescence phenomena. Okay, in this way we can do the study of any compound. Okay, so in all cases the change produced due to the spot will always be proportional to the concentration of solute in that spot. बरोबर ना, की जे त्या स्पॉट आहे तो स्पॉट तिथून चमकतोय, समजा किती चमकतो आहे किंवा किती चमकत नाहीये किंवा रिफ्लेक्ट होते त्या ठिकाणी लाईट, आणि ती जी लाईटची इंटेन्सिटी असणार आहे रिफ्लेक्शनची, ती इंटेन्सिटी कशाला प्रोपोर्शनल आहे, अमाउंट ऑफ सबस्टन्स प्रेझेंट इन दॅट स्पॉट, अमाउंट ऑफ कंपोनंट प्रेझेंट इन दॅट स्पॉट. थोडक्यात तुम्हाला मी मागच्या वेळेस टीएलसी दाखवली होती. लेट मी शो इट अगेन सो दॅट इट विल बी मोर क्लिअर टू यू. ओके, अशी टीएलसी दाखवली होती, बरोबर, आठवत असेल थोडस तुम्ही बघितलं है ना. इथं स्पॉटिंग केलेलं होतं आणि जेव्हा ही टीएलसी रन केली होती तेव्हा तुम्हाला असे 1-2 स्पॉट त्या ठिकाणी दिसले होते टीएलसी वरती. ओके, हे स्पॉट असे तिथे दिसले होते आणि जेव्हा टीएलसी पूर्णपणे रन झाली त्यावेळेस हा स्पॉट काय झाला होता, व्हॅनिश झाला होता. फक्त त्या ठिकाणी तुम्हाला काय दिसत होतं, 2च स्पॉट दिसत होते, बरोबर ना. 2 स्पॉट कोणते दिसत होते, जे की कंपोनंट सेपरेट झालेले आहेत, राईट. सो in this way you can see the lighting or reflection from these spots. Okay, so absorbance in the visible region or in the UV region, then fluorescence or quenching of the fluorescence are the most commonly used method for the quantitative determination. Yeah, fluorescence, quenching of fluorescence are the most commonly used. So direct recording of the spectra is possible. In single or double beam spectrophotometer can be used for this purpose. The measurement is usually accompanied with the reflection method. The scanner convert the spot or the band on the layer to the chromatogram in the form of peak as obtained in HPLC. The chromatogram will have plot of reflect that RF value, okay, retention factor, okay, value against a detection response. The area under the peak will give you the concentration of that substance present in that spot. Okay, so the area under the peak is used to find out the concentration, right. So standard ion sample are applied on the plate and then that plate is allowed to develop over there. So calibration curve is employed to find out the concentration of solute in the sample. Okay, so this is how we can use the calibration curve method, and by which so already we have studied at three places calibration curve method. So same calibration curve method we are using here, but in this case what we do, we consider the area under the peak and then that we plot over here. Okay, so what are the advantages of this technique? This technique is a quantitative. Okay, it has certain limiting values. Okay, acceptable value, what errors are the whatever accepted values are there, that limits are there. So yellow D and yellow Q values are there. So this method is suitable for the determination of large amount of components from the sample. It is used in the pharmaceutical field. It is less expensive. Okay, so if no much accuracy is required, we can use the HPTLC technique. Then the method is being quantitative, require more stringent condition as compared to the TLC technique. It is a quick and simple, easy to operate and carry out. So it is extremely expensive compared to the TLC, and it is more tedious. Okay. So what are the application of HPTLC? So identification of marker compounds, then herbal medicines, okay, then detection of adulterants in the formulation, the stability test for the formulation as well, then use in the field of foods. Yes, then in the routine quality control method, okay, it is used to find out the pesticide residue from the food products. Then food additives which people are adding in the preservative or the foods which are preserved, okay, for the development and control processes, this method is used, and it is used for the natural product, biochemical or similar other type of field. It is also used for the documentation of forgery in the forensic analysis. It is reliable and accurate method. It is used for the detection of banned material in the forensic laboratory. It is used in the pharmaceutical industry, in quality control department, to identify the impurity, to screen the drugs, then to control the doping. Okay, see how many applications are. It is used in the analysis of environmental samples like a soil testing, water testing, okay, both by qualitative and quantitative method. So these are what total 11 applications are there, okay, and there are the 8 advantages of the HPTLC over the other techniques. So this is what your last lecture from this unit, the separation method. Okay, if you face any problem for a concept or any concept, so please inform me so that we can repeat that lecture again or that particular point again and upload on YouTube. Okay. Thank you. So next unit will start after this lecture.